Let me be the first to tell you how proud I am. I want to be the first to tell you just how proud I am of you. You hear, and you hear again, and you hear again, time in and time out. You show up and you make yourself known. Every day wasn't perfect. Today probably wasn't a good day. And yet, you are here. Kudos to the fighter in you. Kudos to the survivor in you. Kudos to the superhero in you. The power to rise above all things. Shout out to you. I know that there's going to be days where you ask yourself, why? Why me? Why not someone else? Why, when things are so great, do I feel so bad? And many times you won't get an answer. Many times you won't be provided any relief. But there's a reason that you feel the way you feel. And sometimes when we're not sure about what we're dealing with, the best thing we can do is get help. So that's what I'm asking you to do today. Dial 3 simple numbers, 988. You grew up your whole life knowing what 911 is, but there's another emergency number you can hit, 988. So don't make a decision that your friends have to live with. Don't make a decision that your parents have to live with. Don't make a decision that your dog, your cat, or whatever it is that loves you have to live with. Make the one that you can live with and get help. So before you do something that's going to leave a lasting mark on those people who care about you, do something that can create more memories and an even more powerful lasting mark, and call and get help. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What up, though, Pride Nation? And I'm back at it again. I tried to be slick yesterday, and I failed. I failed miserably. I knew I was mandated, but I was like, you know what? I'm going to be slick. I'm going to find a way to get out of this. Nope, couldn't do it. So unfortunately, I could not go live yesterday, but I'm here today, and I got a good show for you tomorrow. So listen, look forward to today and tomorrow, because I'm going to have some fun for the days I can get on and talk a little Detroit Lions football. People, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. The joy of being here. To all the people in the building with me today, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, I'm about to upset some more people. I decided that not only will I do this going forward, just particularly for this draft, but I'm going to make sure that I keep with my original agenda, which is to get the people thinking, to get the people to question their own thoughts and why they see things this way, and ask themselves, could it be something different? And so we're going to have some fun with this. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, I'll open it up so y'all can jump in and tell me how crazy I am and I've lost my damn mind. Okay. Also, if you are here and you have not done so yet, you have not subscribed to Roar the Lions UK, I need your help. I need your help, people. I'm just simply trying to meet a simple goal. Nothing big, nothing special. I'm not asking for anything over the top. I don't need no money or nothing like that, okay? I just need your support on this one thing. If you're here and you have not subscribed to Roar the Lions UK, I need you to go and subscribe to them. I just need them to get to 1,000 subscribers. I just need them to 1,000. They're almost to 900. You can be the reason they get to 1,000. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that I need your help, okay? Let's see who's in the building with me today. We got my man Looney Tune in the building who says, yo, BD Buster's in the building. All right. We got my man Jon Kapler in the building. He says, I'm going to actually catch you live finally. My man Craig Ferguson's in the building. Gino is in the building. Big T is in the building. Big T says Brad Holmes is going to surprise all y'all with them first round picks. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I don't think I'm going to be too surprised. Sheldon McCray is in the building. Mars is landed in the building. Vash Starwind is in the building. Luke, have you watched what? Yeah, no, I can't even say his damn name, but I have not watched him yet. My man Perry Ball's in the building, Chrome is in the building, Dan Spano is in the building, Kobe is in the building, Kool-Aid Kid is in the building. Says following over from Roar of the Lions UK. Yeah, hey, listen, is it worth missing Woolworth's heavyweight for? I love my Woolworth heavyweight because I rock with my mans over there. My man's Easy and Spence. But I'm a little bit different. I'm a little different. That's all. And I think you can enjoy it. That's all I'm saying. You decide. But I do challenge people. I do ask things, and I do leave it open for you to call in and join the show, and or not even have to call in. You can actually just physically jump in the show, Kool-Aid Kid, and be a part of it. So hey, it's that simple. We got my man's Curt Romero in the building. I don't know why am I botching these names, man. Y'all know I suck with names. I'm sorry. We got my man Nemesis Break. I hope I said that right. We got Messiah Flute. I hope I said that. It says we live Luke trade the pick. I think everybody wants the pick traded. In reality, I don't, but I'm giving the scenario of what if we can't trade the pick, because the ideal thing is to trade it. But I'm gonna have a little fun with it today. We got my man Jack Frost in the building, Midwest Lion, the Blue Boogeyman in the building, Detroit D is in the building, Dr. Pepperoni is in the building, Billy Venable is in the building, Makai Holt is in the building. If you in here, put a mark in the chat so I can get you in there. We got Universal Mo. Luke, you the longest standing Lion YouTuber. How many years has it been? Shit. I think everything King and Dose of Dion got me beat. They got me beat hands down. I'm still counting some, but it's been a few years. It's been a few. Jon Kapler. Let me see. We got Anthony from Roar the Line UK. What's going on, brother? This is y'all don't know it, but we have the same bald head. I think his looks better because he has a more full beard. In most cases, he can at least grow one. So that's the first part of it. But Don 19 is in the building with me. JT Massive Purpose is in the building. Dr. Detroit is in the building. I can't stay long today, Luke. I have a doctor's appointment shortly. Hey, listen, I'm going to give you the best show I can in a short period of time so you can go and enjoy your doctor's appointment and hope you get better news. So shout out to you, sir. Let me just see where I'm at. Let me try and miss nobody. Super Saiyan Lions in the building. Crimson Shadow is in the building. Mike Kid is in the building. All right, let's have some fun, people. I'm going to be honest with y'all today, okay? I'm probably going to upset a lot of y'all because I figured I'm going to take a different angle, an angle that many of you may not like. And I don't even need the music for this one. I am just going to give you the opportunity to hear me out and see if I can at least get you. My man Lions Lee in the building. What's going on? And see if I can at least get you to look at things a little different. Every person knows that my thumbnails are an indicator of at least one of the topics I'm going to talk about. And this is going to get right into it. Before I do that, tomorrow's show is going to have a special guest. I'm going to save it for the thumbnail, but you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's show. It's going to be a special guest who talks Lions sports, and I love what he do, and I'm thinking you'll be excited about it. But let me get right into this. Jeez. I'm finna line this up, man. All right. Here it is. The Detroit Lions, if they are stuck at the 6th overall pick, they should draft Bijon Robinson.
Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
Before you kill me, because I know it's a few of y'all in the stands now, like, that's it, I surrender, okay? Before you kill me, hear me out, okay? Hear me out. I believe that there is not one way to skin a cat, right? There are multiple ways to skin a cat. But here's my thought process. I believe if there was ever a year where you could take a luxury pick, this is the one. But I believe that there's some history and evidence that supports that view. Now, I know some of y'all are going to say, you have lost your everlasting mind. You have truly figured out how to fall off the damn wagon. I get it, right? And so at the end of the day, follow my logic. Many of you brought this on. Many of you started this. Bijon Robinson will not be available at pick 18. Bijon Robinson will not be available at pick 18. You don't believe me? You don't want to believe the hype? You don't think that this is a real thing? You don't think that this is something that's a reality? I just want you to just pay attention to the reality, because there's some things that I'm excited about when it comes to the Lions. And my opinion is the Lions were smart to not franchise tag anyone, which means that right now your running back on roster that you give a shit about, not the other people, but the ones you care about, is DeAndre Swift. And many of you know that DeAndre Swift is a decent running back. He has his ups, he has his downs, but one of the biggest flaws with him is he can't stay healthy, right? And you also have to make a decision on, are you going to re-sign him? Okay? So, with that being said, follow my logic a little bit, okay? The Lions are going to be picking 6, not because they sucked and were going to be picking 6, but because they made a trade. The team that they traded with was the Rams. The Rams suck. They get to make a pick. And you get to judge them based on what they took with those picks. Now, they took one pick and took Iffy. The jury's still out on him, although some people have already has found, him guilty. And then the other part of it is this. I merely want you to just look at a few realities here, okay? And one of those realities that I have is that not only will Bijon Robinson at 6 make sense, I believe once I'm done breaking it down to you, it'll make more sense to you. I have no doubts in my mind, none whatsoever, absolutely zero, nothing, that the Eagles will take Bijon Robinson. Well, Luke, how do you know that? You don't know what's going on. They're not moving at 10. They're not trading out of that spot at 10. Why? Well, they didn't bring back their guy and Miles Sanders. Well, Luke, they still got Gainwell. That's cute. He's not Bijon Robinson. That's funny. He's not Bijon Robinson. Well, Luke, no, he'll make it to 18. Really? Yeah, okay. All right, because Washington got them a nice little decent running back, but he's no Bijon Robinson. But that's not the point, Luke. He'll make it to 18. You think so? Yeah, okay. And I sit here and I look, and I'm thinking to myself, how much of a threat would it be to have Bijon Robinson as the guy that you get to do RPO with if you Jalen Hurts? I don't think there's another pick for them to take at 10. So you're not getting them at 18. That's my first piece of evidence. The second piece of evidence is many of you have already said to give Jared Goff at least one more year, and you believe if he do well, you will re-sign him. Well, I'm going to turn you to this. I'm going to bring you to this season right here in 2018 on the Rams, where Jared Goff was a part of. He was a part of this team on the Rams, right? And it's funny because you look and you see that they were number 2 in points for and number 2 in yards. And you look and they were 14th in pass attempts and 5th in terms of passing yards, right? But in rushing yards, they were 3rd. And in rushing touchdowns, they were 2nd. But why is that important? Because the last time Jared Goff had any real success, he had a running back named Todd Gurley. Now, many of you are going to say, it's not fair, Luke. It's Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is like a totally different beast and blah, blah, blah. But Todd Gurley came in with an injury. A team took a chance on him, and, the rest was history. But that 6'1", 224-pound frame is very intriguing, especially when you look and you realize that Bijon is about 6 feet, 220 himself, right? Now, or 215, right? but similar build and frame, right? Almost similar running style. And I just happened to look and I said, it's funny that you see this, but how does this all line up in terms of making sense at 6? Well, follow me. If you don't bring back Jamal Williams, like I said, you're still stuck with DeAndre Swift. And the idea is if you bring in Bijon Robinson, now you have a two-headed dragon of Bijon Robinson and DeAndre Swift. But Luke, why would we do that when we could just go ahead and bring in Jamal Williams and then we can still draft Bijon Robinson and then now you'll have Jamal Williams and Bijon Robinson and you just got to trade Swift. Well, that doesn't work because Bijon Robinson is a day one starter. And that doesn't work because Jamal Williams will want to be the starter. Jamal Williams is not finna take the back seat because you went out and got a rookie. Well, Luke, just follow me on this, Luke, because I think you done lost your mind on this one. You have fully went the shitter on this. I am only making a scenario if you cannot trade out of the 6th pick. Okay? I'm only making a scenario if you cannot trade out of that 6th pick. Okay? Steve-O says, Bijon was 5'11", 215 at the combine. Perfect size. Perfect. Very close to Ty Gurley. Perfect. I'll take it. Here's another piece of evidence I want to present before you kill me. The last time the Lions decided to make a move like that, they ended up with this guy. Now, I'm not saying Bijon Robinson is Barry Sanders. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But the Lions have had most of their success this past season because they were at least committed enough to run the ball and run it effectively. In fact, when you look at it, Jamal Williams broke Barry Sanders' rushing touchdown record, right? And I believe that there's a difference between Jamal Williams and Bijon for 2 reasons. One, Bijon can take it to the house, right? Bijon might be the best running back that came out since Saquon Barkley, and that's working out really good for the Giants. But on top of that, you look at another factor that I want to toss in there, and that's free agency. Because certain people have got franchise tag, the free agency pool looks a little bit different. And at this point, you're still trying to get the best talent possible. So let's just say hypothetically, right? You don't like none of these quarterbacks. In fact, you believe that you can get Hendon Hooker in the 3rd, or you believe you can get Hendon Hooker in the 2nd. Although I think he will end up getting took it in the 1st. We should see. You believe this, right? Cool. We go with it. What you can't get is Bijon Robinson at 18. He won't be there. Ask yourself, what do the Eagles need and what are they going to get for real, at pick 10? Or they're going to take a cornerback. Why? They got 2 first-round picks. They got 10 and 30, what was it, 31 or whatever the losing pick is. 31? Why? Well, Luke, there's none of this stuff. It's all a bunch of malarkey. But stay with me. The last time your quarterback that you have went to a Super Bowl, he had a defense, which let me go back to that proof. He had a defense that wasn't ranked highly. They wasn't a highly ranked defense. They was 20th in points, right? 19th in yards. They wasn't highly up there in the defense. They were able to run the ball, control the clock, and set your quarterback up. In fact, your quarterback was able to do a whole lot of things because Jamal Williams was doing the damn thing. Now I ask you, do you want to just bring Jamal Williams back? Cool. Then at that point, you can't take Bijon. And now you got to ask yourself, is it better to take the cornerback? My argument would be this. What's going to give you more at that point? You're picking at 6. Let's say you cannot trade the pick. Everybody wants the pick traded. We all agree that that we would like for them to trade down. This is nothing new to either of us, right? But I'm giving you an opportunity to think outside the box. I'm giving you a chance to think outside the box. You didn't like my idea of taking a quarterback? Fine. I got a few options for you that I'm going to be presenting to you over the time to get you to think outside the box. If the Lions decided to go out at 6 and take Bijon Robinson, and now you got Bijon Robinson as your running back with DeAndre Swift. If you come out with a 2 running back set, who getting the ball? You got problems on top of problems. Now let's play a little bit more devil's advocate. At 18, I know who will still probably be there, more than likely. a number of cornerbacks and a number of defensive tackles. Right? Say for example, I really think we should get Witherspoon. You don't like Forbes? You don't like Joey Porter Jr.? You don't think they'd be there at 18? I do. I feel pretty good about that. Well, in the D tackles, man, it's Jalen Carter, but he's not going to be there. So let's talk about somebody else. Maybe let's talk about Cansey from Pittsburgh, number 8. Let's talk about him. Well, Luke, man, but we still need a guard. Well, that's what you have third rounds for, right? Don't force yourself into a decision that you can't handle. But understand something. It would make more sense. It would make more sense to draft Bijon Robinson at 6. You don't like, let's say, for example, you see a smorgasbord of quarterbacks off the board. Let's say the Bears don't trade the first pick and they take Will Anderson. And now the Texans take Bryce Young. And now all of a sudden the Cardinals trade their pick and move to the Colts, and the Colts take CJ Stroud, or they take Anthony Richardson, even though I think the Colts have a very particular player in mind that they want to take. And it's for a lot of reasons. And I think that the Colts really want Hendon Hooker. And they're hoping nobody gets him. But that's another story. But let's just say there's a run of quarterbacks between picks 2 and 5. And you sitting up there with a chance to take Bijon Robinson or Witherspoon. Bijon Robinson or Gonzalez. I personally would take Bijon Robinson. Why? Because at that point, if I'm going to prove that my quarterback's that guy, I'm going to take the player that's going to cause the most problems. And if I can get a running back that's going to cause hell with the receivers we got, then let's talk about it. Because at that point, once I add a guard or another piece to the offense, everything else can be defense. Because most of your picks are still going to be there down the stretch. Those cornerbacks are going to be there and everything. Nothing is going to be missed. Now, stay with me a little bit because I'm all doing history. The last time we took a running back high was Barry Sanders. And it worked out like hell. And Bijon Robinson is a very good running back. But the last time your quarterback had a good running back who finished 3rd in rushing yards, but number 1 in rushing touchdowns, they went to the Super Bowl with a average defense. Now, I ask you, you go out here and take all these players and force them into these positions. You take a corner and you try to force them and plug them in and stuff like that. Your defense still going to be average. The difference is you got to now make a decision about what you're going to do with Swift. You got to make a decision about what you're going to do with Jamal Williams. And guess what? The answer is easy. His name is Mr. Robinson. You don't got to do anything to it. You don't got to entice him. You simply have to just wait and take the running back. Well, Luke, that's not good draft value. I don't give a shit. I'm talking about changing your fortunes. If he ends up at best being Derrick Henry, if he ends up at best being Breece Hall, which, by the way, the Jets went straight to the toilet once Breece Hall was out. And the Texans had great success once they discovered Pierce. The run game is not dead. And the opportunity is still there for you to do it because guess what? None of these teams are going to let certain things pass them. The Falcons already invested in a tight end and a receiver. They got Desmond Ridder. They like Desmond Ridder. They're going to go defense. Carolina won a quarterback. Philly got everything. The rich gets richer. They got everything. They got pick 10. You scroll on down a little bit more and 31. They not pressed. They can afford to take a luxury pick, and you can too. Because guess what? Here's a guy who can come in day one, start, take somebody's spot, and have value to your team immediately. If he at best end up being Devin Cook minus the damn fumbles, kudos to you. Don't overcomplicate this. And the reason I'm saying this is because I'm trying to be able to see all aspects in different views. Anthony says, Luke, would you rather pay Lamar and give up 2 first-rounders, which is badly affecting your cap, or trade up and give up 2 first-rounders for Richardson, but get the rookie contract? I would much rather take Lamar. Anthony Richardson scares the crap out of me. I don't know who I'm getting in that regard. I just don't. Steve said, this is the first time I agree with Luke in a long time. Bijon would have the most effect on this team of any of the players that they are mocking us. It just makes the most sense. But at the end of the day, Bijon Robinson does a lot of things. As Perry Ball points out, Mr. Robinson helps the defense and offense. Teams have a game plan for him. He helps to do. And just think about this. Just think about this. If Bijon Robinson comes as advertised, and I think he will, do you know that due to the play action game with the receivers we have? With the receivers we have? Y'all was all hype about Jameson. If Jameson can't get a one-on-one off of Bijon Robinson, come on now. I'm telling you right now, the Lions are in a position to do something different. I can just go down the list of teams. Breece Hall was the single most reason the Jets were winning games. And when he went down, they went to the toilet. I remember the year where they had an off year for the Dallas Cowboys. They're sitting at 4. They draft Zeke Elliott, and they go on to get back to their winning ways, and Zeke Elliott made everybody have a headache, including our Detroit Lions. Because everybody and their mama sold out, and because he burnt the crap out of our linebacker, who was in good position, but the pass and the catch was just perfect. And you have a chance to change that. So let me get this straight. To the people who are saying, I've lost my mind, I'm nuts, think about it. You don't want the quarterback. You don't want the running back. You're not getting Jalen Carter. You're not getting Will Anderson. You're not taking an offensive tackle at 6. What other position are you going to take that's going to have more impact than Bijon Robinson? You tell me in the chat. I'm listening. I'm all ears. What other position are you taking? Tactical Puma says Zeke is the second best running back on his own team. Now he is. That came after that second contract. That's all I'm pointing out. Kool-Aid Kid says play action starts with a quarterback that can sell it. Goff can do that. It's even easier when your running back is a legit threat. I watched it last year. They were so worried about Swift. They were so worried about Jamal Williams. Now you say, Jamal, you know what? You did a great thing for us. I know you're a good guy. We want to bring you back. You can't bring him back. You know why? Because when you bring him back, he's expecting to start. And when you bring him back, he ain't giving you no discount because guess what? He just broke the greatest running back in NFL history touchdown record on his first 1,000-yard rushing season. I want you to put this in perspective. Ask yourself, who gives you more impact? Name me the player. Don't tell me positions. Name me the player. Because this is a point of emphasis, in my opinion, where you have to start to come to a realization that, you know what? If what I want really ain't there and it's really best player available, who's better than Bijon Robinson? I'm going to argue that that's going to be kind of hard to beat. Who's better? I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat. Feel free to come in and tell me I've lost my damn mind. All you need is internet, your headset to your phone, your tablet, or your computer. You don't even got to be on camera. Just show up and let's talk about it. Understand? You show up and you stupid. You're going to get your feelings hurt, but I'm putting it in the chat. I believe that the Lions are in a position to actually do something a little bit different this year. Tactical Puma naming all these other running backs. Do you believe those running backs are better than Bijon Robinson? That to me tells me what I need to know. If you believe those running backs are better than Bijon Robinson, cool. I agree with Steve-O. Jamal is an average NFL running back that's running behind a top-tier O-line, which brings me to another point. Could you imagine Bijon Robinson with this O-line? Good grief. Could you imagine Barry Sanders with this O-line? I'm going to leave it alone. Let me bring in my first guest. Either he's going to agree or disagree, but that's down 19. What it do, brother? What's going on?
What's going on, Luke?
Listen, I already told people I was going to upset them today. I was honest in my truth.
You got my blood up. You got my blood up.
The reality is this. Do you believe, like if it's, let's just play devil's advocate a little bit.
All right.
You get to have Bijon Robinson or Gonzalez. Who you want?
I'm taking defense. I gotta take defense.
Okay. Why? Why are you taking Gonzalez?
Because we trash in the secondary. And it is a deep running back class too. So to play devil's advocate, it's a deep corner class and a deep running back class. So which one is more important?
Well, let's listen. I'm with you in terms of this, but now I'm finna ask you a few counter questions. Is that okay?
Okay. All
right. Which one has a higher learning curve? Running back or cornerback?
Corner.
Okay. Which one has more impact on the team? The running back or the cornerback?
It depends.
Okay.
I'll go with running back.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. You're sitting up there. Jalen Carter is not on the board.
Yeah.
Will Anderson is not on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You're not willing to take any quarterbacks. Witherspoon is on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Gonzalez is on the board.
Yep.
Okay. What position are you taking at 6?
I'm still taking corner.
And at 18,
I gotta take
taking?
At 18, I don't. Mm-hmm. That's a toss up right there. I might go deep tackle, probably Brian Brzee or that Kansas dude. Maybe one of them.
I'm just saying. So at 18 though, but at 18 though, you're not taking the running back, right?
No, I'm waiting. I gotta address
when do you want to take a running back?
Third round. It's plenty of guys. Okay. It's plenty of guys.
I'm not knocking you. Listen. I'm not knocking you. I'm not against you. I want to hear your view. So you want to wait till the 3rd round. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see where we pick in the 3rd round. Don't worry about at pick 82.
About the Eagles thing, right? I think they taking defense too because they losing a lot of people. They losing C.J. Gardner. They losing James Bradbury. They losing T.J. Edwards.
Yeah.
They losing Hargrave.
Yep.
I don't think they go offense.
Yeah, but
I think they stick with Kenny Gainwell.
You know why? You know why they go offense?
Why?
Because there are more defensive players at their needs in this draft than there are at running back, and they didn't let Miles Sanders go for no reason.
Man, I think they stick with
Gainwell. Gainwell ain't doing it like that. We're not gonna play like that. He couldn't even get the start.
They might take the Alabama running back, Jahmyr Gibbs. So you think they'll take Gibbs? They might go in that. Yeah.
Okay. So. Well, I think they'll take Gibbs as Bijon off the board. But let's talk about your original view. You want to take a running back in the 3rd round at pick 82.
Yeah.
Right? So we're going to skip all these picks in the 2nd round.
Okay.
How many of these teams started from the 2nd round you think need a running back? How many?
How many teams need running back? Probably Saints, Saints.
Okay.
Probably Pittsburgh needs somebody behind Najee.
Okay. All right.
Tampa Bay. Since they let Fournette go.
Yep.
You know what? Okay. If Bijon slipped down, he might go to Tampa.
Okay. So here's the thing. Tampa might want that until we start to go and look at the draft again, right? Bijon got to make it down to 19. And you believe you can get him at 18.
Yeah.
So that would mean Tampa would have to leapfrog you, right? And Tampa ain't in a position to trade no capital. So I'll ask again. Where do you see this happening at? Because now here comes my next question. Who do you think is the best running back in this draft?
Bijon, of course.
Okay. So at this point, if you think he's the best running back in this draft, why wouldn't you want the best running back on your team with this line?
Because I feel like,
especially if you're not ready to take a quarterback this year.
But here's the thing: if you got a great offensive line, you don't really need the best running back. Like you could just plug them. Like, all right. So let me ask you: what did Christian McCaffrey do for the Panthers? What did Saquon do for the Giants? Like you take these. What did Zeke do for the Cowboys? Nothing. They did nothing for the team.
Hold on, wait. Go with the first. You said what did who do for who? What did
Christian McCaffrey did for the Panthers?
A lot. What do you mean?
What do you mean a lot? They didn't win many playoff games with him.
Oh, so now we doing what he provided to the team.
Yeah,
okay. So if we plan that game, then we really finna have fun with this, right? No. Because at that point we finna have fun with it. So let me ask you this: if you're going to name people like Zeke, who essentially helped Dallas do a lot of great things. Dallas issues fell on the coach. Jason Garrett wasn't no head coach. He was a pansy. Who's a pansy who did what he was told, right? And now you go over to Saquon. Saquon had the Giants respectable because people had to respect him. It was the quarterback play that was killing them, and that's why they was having all these issues until they got a new head coach. And again, another coaching issue and a coaching change, and you still got this plus his injuries on top of it. Then you start talking about people like that. So let's start talking about what Breece Hall. What did Breece Hall do for the Jets?
He was a solid running back. Okay, but don't act like their defense wasn't going crazy too.
I mean, was it though?
Yes, they. Okay, come on, Luke. They defense went crazy.
What did Pierce do for the Texans? What did Alvin Kamara do for the Texans? Do for the Saints? Look at these running backs who came in and helped. And granted, a lot of the times you can look at them and say, "Well, these guys took it in this round." But a lot of these first round, these people who are not your average running backs, they ball out.
And I'm not saying like the corner is like the whole defense. So people like. I see Foot Clan said, how many games did Jalen Ramsey? He's just a big part of the defense. We need defense. We suck. We gave up 48 points to the Seahawks. We are trash. We couldn't stop nobody from the Panthers.
But you know what though? The same argument that you're making is the exact same argument that I've been making for the last 2 seasons when telling people we need secondary and defensive help.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told that I was crazy. So now I'm telling you, keep the same energy. Not you, but I'm saying to the people, keep the same energy that, now you want to get these cornerbacks. But guess what happened? The universe actually smiled upon you. Because I can assure you that it's easier for me to get my cornerback at 18 and still have a decent cornerback, but it won't be that easy to find a running back like Bijon Robinson.
Right. I'm not mad. I'm not mad if anybody want Bijon Robinson. I'm not mad. I'm just
right, but I'm talking about you're stuck at 6. Stay with me.
You're stuck
at 6, and I got to choose between Bijon Robinson or a rookie cornerback where the learning curve is higher. The running back makes more sense. I got to choose between Bijon Robinson, where the learning curve is lower, where he already got a supporting cast, receivers plus an offensive line to run behind. And granted, people can point to certain games and say, well, he didn't do nothing this game. He didn't do nothing that game.
Right.
Who was their players? I watched Texas football. Let's talk about Texas football for real. But let's be honest. Who were these people?
Nobody.
So at the end of the day, I'm asking you, what's wrong with taking that running back at 6 when you have a chance to actually take a luxury pick this year, whereas last year I didn't think you had a chance to take a luxury pick. Now everybody and their mama want cornerback like they didn't realize what it was. And I tried to tell everybody. I even thought, I said, based on what Brad Holmes said and how everything is looking, I think it comes down to Sauce Gardner and Kyle Hamilton. I'm going to take Kyle Hamilton because we need a safety bad. And guess what? We still need a freaking safety. Yeah. We still need cornerbacks. So all I'm saying to you is this. All I'm saying to you is this. Anthony is ignorant as hell. At 6, I'll draft Ash to help Luke beat his son when playing Pokemon. I'm just saying.
Luke, it also depends on free agency. Like if we can get a cornerback
we
in
know
free
that,
agency,
right?
I'm cool.
But
I'm
the
cool
line,
too.
But okay, so listen, I'll play the game with you. I'm trying to be patient and play the game with you.
Be patient. Right? Be patient.
All right, let's go through. Here's the list of the free agents. Right?
Okay.
All right, let's go through. Let's just go through. We're gonna look at the free agents.
You see them 2 Eagles right there?
Uh-huh. Yep, I see them. Keep going. Let's look at the free agents. Because I want you to show me where we're running back you taking out of this goddamn list. I'll wait. Let me know when you see the running back you taking out of this list. Let me know. Let me know.
I already said I'm drafting a running back.
Right now, it's already a few people you can take to help this damn defense. But let me know when you see the running back that you can take. Because right now, you got DeAndre Swift, Craig Reynolds, and a prayer. So let me know when you see that guy. I'll wait. Let me know now. This is all for you. Mm-hmm.
I said I'll take a running back late in the draft. That's what I said.
I know. You take one in the 3rd round, right? But you said this all depends on free agency. So the point of me looking at this is saying, look, in free agency, right? In free agency, you're not even going to take a running back in free agency. So why not take somebody who can come in and have immediate, instant, game day one starting impact in Bijon Robinson? And I'm still going. I ain't hear you say nothing about Miles Sanders. I ain't hear you say nothing about Damian Harris. Then the 2 running backs so far.
I don't want to pay them. I'm good.
Not even Jamal Williams. He's number 3 at this point. It's getting real tight.
If Jamal could come to a
Devin Singletary, I ain't hear nothing about him.
If Jamal could come to a good deal, I'll take him. But like I said, you know where I'm going with running back. So
okay, so let's say for example you take Jamal. Why are you not going to draft a running back? Because you already know that running back is not going to play. And your pick in the 3rd round still gets you 5 picks in the top 82. So why are we not taking none of these running backs? Why are we not talking about these guys? Now, I went through all 101 of these free agents, and I didn't hear no love for this. You was probably salivating at some of the defensive guys you can get. So let's say we do go on that route and decide to attack the free agency through defense. You know, attack defense through free agency, right? Now we back to the point. You at 6. And let's say you get Byron Murphy. Let's say you get Sean Button Murphy. Or let's say you go out and get Rocky Sand and you get Byron Murphy, right? You at 6. You still drafting a cornerback?
Nope, I'm still going defense side.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Either D-tackle or edge rusher.
Okay. I'm still trying to figure it out. Let's say, for example, we follow this rule that Rumble brings up. He said, let's trade Swift. Trade Swift swiftly is what he says. And then do what? Then do what? Who you adding? You want to bring Jamal Williams back and still want to draft Bijon? Because Jamal Williams is going to be coming back to be a backup. Oh, he could be a two-headed monster. They're going to give more carries to Bijon because he's going to take more to the house. More bigger runs. My man Mike says, players I would draft over Bijon Robinson, C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Tyree Wilson I would not definitely draft for, but I get you this your list. Cansey, Devin Witherspoon, and Christian Gonzalez. It says, I'll look at Bijon at 18. If gone, continue with the next best player available. He won't be there at 18. We won't.
I'm telling you, he's gonna be there at 18.
He won't be
I'm
there.
telling you, the Eagles not taking him.
Okay, and when the Eagles take him,
I'm telling you, Luke. I'm telling you, Luke. Trust me. Luke, okay. Trust me. They losing so much on defense. I'm telling you.
They lost a 30-year-old D tackle.
He gonna be there. They losing C.J. Gardner Johnson, who had what? I think he had the most interception this year. They losing James Bradbury, who was all first team. They losing a lot on defense. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong.
So hold on.
I think they're going defense.
They got picked 10 and 31. We're talking pick 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who you think they taking at 10? Give me a name, not a position.
I think they take Devin Witherspoon.
So who are we taking at 6?
Christian Gonzalez.
So we take Christian Gonzalez, and they take Devin
Mm-hmm.
Witherspoon. Okay, all right. Listen, I'm not gonna kill nobody. I just want to hear the conversation, and I want to get people to think. There's more than one way to skin a cat. And right. I'm just telling you, the last time that man went to a Super Bowl, he had a mean ass run game. A 2-3-headed dragon, if I'm not mistaken. He had Robert Kelly. He had C.J. Anderson towards the playoffs. He had Todd Gurley, and they went a long way running that ball.
He did. Listen, I could be wrong about the Eagles. I could be, but I just think they could go defense and just, like I said, it's a deep running back class. They might go with Gibbs. That's all I said. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. That's just how I feel.
But you admit that the number one running back, in your opinion, is Bijon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you feel that the NFL team is going to say F the number one running back and take like what is Gibbs to you? Number 2? Number 3?
Yeah, Gibbs, number 2.
So they're going to say forget the number 1 best running back and take the number 2 best running back.
I think so. I think they go defense, but okay, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I'm just want to hear how you thinking about this. Steve says I would rather draft Witherspoon than Gonzalez if they're taking a cornerback at 6. You're not gonna get me to disagree with that. But if I gotta take a cornerback or a generational running back, yeah, I'm going generational running back. Sorry. Let me bring in my next guest, Crimson Shadow. Don, you want to hold off in the back for me, man?
Okay, that's cool.
All right. Listen, the link is in there. Come in there and tell me I'm crazy. Tell me I lost my mind. Because when you look at free agency that's coming up, and I haven't even gotten into it yet, but I kind of skipped on it because Don brought it up. I want you to understand something. That if you're going to take a certain player at 6th overall, if they're not going to play this year, take the quarterback. If you are expecting them to play this year and have high impact, take Bijon Robinson. So far, 2 of the picks that I had at 6 have pissed people off because I don't think people are looking at it from a different perspective. They're subscribing to the news that come out that say the Lions should take a cornerback at 6, but they're not looking at all the options you would have at 18. Even if Witherspoon come off the board, even if Gonzalez is off the board, let's say Tracy Porter is off the board. Look at the teams in this draft. How many cornerbacks you see going in the first round? Between picks 1 and 18. I'll bring it back up so the people can tell me if I've lost my mind fully or am I actually just thinking outside the box. Between picks 1 and 18, how many teams, and please show me in the chat, how many teams you see taking a cornerback between these picks? If you say it's the Eagles, that's 1, cool. How many teams do you see taking a cornerback? Pittsburgh, 17. Washington, 16. Green Bay, 15. New England, 14. Jets, 13. Texans, 12. Who just took Derek Stingley. Tennessee, 11. Philly, 10. Carolina, 9. Atlanta, 8. Vegas, 7. Detroit, 6. Between picks 1 through 18, how many teams taking a cornerback? That's my question. 3 or 4? Name me the 3 or 4 teams. Name me the 3 or 4 teams. Let me bring in Crimson Shadow while y'all work that out.
Okay, I can answer that one quick. Eagles, Steelers, Green Bay.
Eagles, Steelers, Green Bay. You think take a cornerback?
Oh, absolutely. Especially the Steelers, Porter. That's
And so who are your top 5 corners?
Well, it's not mine personally. Well, obviously Gonzalez wouldn't make that list. I still rate Emmanuel Forbes over him. But it's obvious it's probably going to be Witherspoon, Gonzalez, and then Porter.
And then who else? You said Forbes?
Forbes would be my number 4, honestly.
All right. So let's just say hypothetically, I go with your 4. You got 3 teams taking a cornerback between picks 1 and 18. And let's say Witherspoon, Gonzalez, and Porter's gone. You still get Forbes. Now what we talking about?
Okay. The question is, are you fine with taking Forbes at 18 though? Is the value match there? Are you okay with it?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay with taking anything after we take Bijon Robinson at 6. Keep in mind, I'm only arguing, right? I'm only arguing that if you're stuck at 6, you don't want the quarterback, right? There's not a quarterback that you like at this point, right? And Jalen Carter is not there, right?
Yeah.
And Will Anderson is not there. And you already said it's all about 3 teams who need a corner. Why would you take the corner at 6 when you can still get one at 18?
I agree. You've seen. I don't know if you paid attention.
Bijon won't be at 18.
You know what? If you see any of my mock drafts, I've never taken a corner at 6. I'm either going to trade back or usually I'm going.
We're not talking trade back, Crimson.
I know.
That's not what we're talking about.
I get it.
We're not talking trade back. We're talking you're stuck at 6. You don't want the quarterback. You said forget the quarterback. Jared Goff is your guy. He's your franchise quarterback.
I get that. And like I said, I can. If they took Bijon, I wouldn't be mad. This team is a run-first team. I would not be mad at it. I get they'd get use out of it. There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
However, I'm more in the camp of getting Cansey than I would be getting Bijon at 6. But again, people would call me crazy for getting Cansey at 6. Because
he's
too short.
Well, listen, I can make that argument with people too, but I'm going to say that for another day. We're trying to figure out, does it make sense and is it logical to take the running back? And in my opinion, it is.
If he has the ability to be as good as Saquon Barkley or Barry Sanders has been, then again, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Now, again, Mike says, yes, they did with the Rams. Defense was way better than our current roster. Our defense has been hot garbage for about 4 or 5 years, right? But you have a free agency that's filled with a lot of defensive players that you can add. You have a draft that's filled with a lot of defensive players that you can draft. And at the end of the day, you will still be able to get the 3 positions you talked about, cornerback, linebacker, and D tackle, well at 18. Literally, if you wanted to. And you wouldn't have to miss a beat.
The problem is it's not a
But
really
at 6, that guy at 6, I want you to understand something. That guy at 6 has to be a dog. If you're taking him 6th overall, he has to be a dog. The only person that you can take at 6 that does not have to start year 1 is quarterback. And you all have already scalded me for that one.
The problem is I don't see any of these guys being good. I don't like any of these quarterbacks except for Young. And
okay, so we back at it again. You sitting up there, you got a chance to take Bijon or Witherspoon. Who you taking?
In this case, I'd probably just go Bijon. I'm not taking a cornerback in the top 10.
Okay, you got Bijon or Gonzalez. Who you taking?
Again, I already just said I'm not taking a quarterback in the top 10. Again, it's a deep cornerback room. I'm not doing that.
Okay, Bijon or say, you know what? There is no other position I can trust. If you're not taking a quarterback,
yeah, because
you're not taking a D tackle.
Yeah.
Take the damn running back. There's nobody else. There just isn't nobody else.
And we're not taking Quentin Johnson. If somebody brings that up, I'm not doing that.
It says, I've never done a PFF mock draft with Bijon drafted at 6. What kind of impact does that have on the drop? I'm going to have to do a couple dozen like that. I will put it like this. You got to keep in mind that the mock draft is meant to have a certain algorithm to try to get you as close as possible to real outcomes. But the reality is it's still a mock. It's not real. The reality is somebody's going to take Bijon, and he's not getting at the top 10 in my opinion. I think the Eagles take him. Now stay with me. Bijon, let's say Bijon is not taken at 6. You draft a cornerback at 6, right? And that cornerback that you take at 6 has a slow start. Let's say he has a not Jeff Okuda slow start, but just a slow start.
That's common.
People are going to be upset, but the reality is, as Crimson said, it's a common occurrence because the learning curve is so damn high. Now, you talk about, Mike talks about Slade being a second-round pick. Yep, and that year, it was a lot of damn corners. You talk about Marcus talking about Woolen was a 4th-round pick. Right? All I'm saying is, when you go through and you look at it, and you're sitting at 6, who gives you the most impact?
I see Cam Smith on there. I'm not the biggest Cam Smith guy. He's too small.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I'm not against some of the second-round guys. Like I said, I'm a big Forbes fan, and I would be elated to get him on the team. I think the Patriots are going to end up taking him in the second round. Be devastating, but I'd love to get him. I'm not against Garrett Wilson, but looking at Garrett Wilson's film, he looks like he'd just be a better suited number 2 than a number 1. There's a lot that needs to be polished with Garrett Wilson.
I'm just merely making the argument. 2 guys in the podcast shout out. He says, Luke, does it hurt to always be wrong, or are you used to it? I'm used to people thinking I'm wrong. Like when I told people that I don't know. Like I think I've been right about a few things, but I will say this. I've been wrong about a lot of things too. The reality is I'm not trying to put something up there that's going to be right. I'm trying to put a perspective that you need to take a second to think about, because if it comes up, and it will, you need to make a decision that you can live with. And if you're telling me that you're going to take a cornerback over Bijon Robinson, you better remember that, because I can tell you this right now. Everything that you do is going to be measured. The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be measured with whatever Trey Walker do, whatever his name, Trayvon Walker, whatever he do is going to be measured to whatever Aiden do, because they could have took Aiden.
Oh, yeah.
The Jets took Sauce Gardner. So all the people before them who passed on Sauce Gardner is going to be measured to what the Jets did. And so forth and so on. So you can figure out who got the best pick that year. That's why you have redrafts. And in my opinion, okay, he said, to be fair, you're not always wrong. First round is too early for a kicker. But to be fair, if you're looking at this draft right now and you wanted a linebacker, you wanted a cornerback, you wanted a safety, you wanted a D tackle, where could you still get those at 18 and get the guy that you want? If your answer is yes, then I ask you, you're at 6. You're not taking a QB. You're taking a defensive back. And you take him over a running back like Bijon Robinson, and Bijon mess around and be what I think he's going to be, you're going to look real foolish. And that's the only point I'm trying to make.
Well, okay, then here's my question then. If Bijon, or if Will Anderson or Jalen Carter are still on the board, do you go one over the other?
You say what's now?
If you have someone like, say, there's a possibility that Jalen Carter or Will Anderson could fall to us, do you still take Bijon, or do you take
No, because the whole purpose of my argument was, if Carter is not on the board, Will Anderson is not on the board, you don't want none of the quarterbacks, because this all started because nobody wanted the quarterbacks.
I get that. I'm just trying to see the measurement of how much you love you some Bijon.
No. Listen, understand this. I'm trying to get dogs. And if Jalen Carter falls to us at 6, then, hey, like Sewell, it's a no-brainer. Aiden Hutchinson for people, it was a no-brainer, right?
Yeah.
And so all I'm saying is if Jalen Carter won't fall to you at 6, the dream is everybody wants Jalen Carter. But I think Jalen Carter gets taken by the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Especially with J.J. Watt's retiring. I think he gets taken by the Cardinals. All right. Now, he won't be there. And if he's not there, the quarterbacks that you like are not there. Will Anderson is not there, and you're stuck at 6. You cannot trade the pick.
Who do you think Will Anderson's going to? Chicago still?
I think he's going to Chicago, yeah.
I think Chicago's going to get traded back, actually.
But my question to you is who are you taking at 6? We've already got Will Anderson, Carter off the board. No quarterback you like is on the board. Who are you taking at 6? You stuck there.
If you're asking me again, it's like if you're talking at 6, I'm taking Kancey again.
Okay, I ain't mad at you.
Like I said, I know you love you some Kancey as well.
Yep. And again, 2 guys in the podcast. I'm not talking about, you can't trade down. Everyone knows the scenario that everybody wants, right? We all know the easy scenario is to trade down, right? And the people who say trade down be saying trade down, but they don't really want to trade down too far, but they want to try to trade down and get something. I get it. That's what we all want. But what happens if you can't trade down? What happens if you got to make a pick? And when you got to make a pick, there's not a quarterback you like on the board. There's no Jalen Carter. There's no Will Anderson. Who are you going to take?
Yeah.
That's my question.
It's a dang good question to have. I have no doubt there. I mean, shoot. Let's be fair. I mean, you know what we always do when we're in top 10? We gotta take this. We gotta take the tight end. Mayor, come on down. You're our next tight end.
Again, we're focusing on the 6th pick. People want to keep jumping. We can do this at 18. No, you can't. There are too many things that's going to occur at pick 18.
Well, okay. We have to ask the chat. What are you taking at 6? If you got no move, what are you taking? All around, I want votes, please.
But
Just
that's the question,
thing,
though.
please.
So again, I'm not looking at it like this. Mike says if that occurs, one of the players of Will Anderson or Jalen Carter will be available. If 3 quarterbacks are gone, that means Will Levis is available at 6. That means trade down.
What's the odds?
We're talking about you can't trade down. If you're telling me, I think this is how I think it's going to go. I think the first 5 picks go like this, and I don't care how they go in what order. Will Anderson, Jalen Carter, Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young. I think what the hell is his damn name? CJ Stroud. And I think Anthony Richardson, because somebody gonna fall in love with what the hell they saw at the combine. Come off the board in that top 5 somewhere. Somebody trade up or somebody sit there and take them.
It's gonna be the Raiders. That's my bet. It's gonna take Richardson.
Now, honestly, I believe, this is just my honest belief. Y'all can shoot me on if you want to. I believe that the Colts are going to draft them a stud player that can help them immediately this year, and they'll still draft Hendon Hooker, even if it's at 5. I think they like Hendon Hooker for a number of reasons. But I'd
like to hear what those reasons are, actually.
Well, you got to catch tomorrow's show. Today, we're talking about a different possibility.
Fair enough.
So, again, let me know. You can't trade the pick. Everybody's going. What are you doing?
All right, everyone. The answer is can't see.
So Mike says Arizona's getting calls to trade down and want to trade down since they have the least amount of draft picks of all 32 teams this year. Fine. But let's say that happens, right? Let's say that happens. We know the 2 dream scenarios. The number 1 scenario is that by most people's accounts is they want Jalen Carter.
It would be the dream.
I'll take that back. Most people who don't think they're perfect want Jalen Carter. The perfect crew don't want him. He's a bad apple, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. The only thing we can hope on is that the Cardinals are scared off by his alleged, felony or whatever, or misdemeanor.
He ain't got nothing yet. He ain't been convicted of nothing. That's all allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. That's the only luck I could see is maybe they take Wilson instead of Carter because they're afraid of it. But again, I just don't see Carter falling to us or Wilson.
But listen. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get people to see it for a perspective purposes of saying you're stuck at this pick. You don't have a trade partner. Okay, somebody traded with the Cardinals, right? Somebody traded with the Cardinals, which means that they're now at 3. At 4, the coach taking the quarterback. So now you will have 3 quarterbacks taken, right? You will have 3 quarterbacks taken. So you will have Will Anderson going to the Bears. Yes. You would then have a quarterback going to Houston. You will have whoever trade up to 3, which, I think that could be a simple move. It's something that's the coach doing a lateral move, 1 down or something like that. But no matter. Whoever comes to 3, taking a quarterback. So that's 2 quarterbacks. Then let's say the coach stay at 4. That's another quarterback. Right? And then let's say Seattle, who everybody think because they signed Geno Smith that they're not taking a quarterback. You're fooling yourself.
They got to. I'm sorry.
You're fooling yourself. They're still taking a quarterback. So that's 3. Now Jalen Carter falls to you. Great. The scenario that everybody wants happens.
I'm running to the podium.
Right?
I don't care if I piss the NFL off again.
I'm just saying the scenario that everybody wants happens. The scenario that everybody is trying to prepare themselves for mentally so they don't get upset is we can trade down. But what if you can't?
I mean, I'd be shocked if they couldn't. I mean, out of all the QB need teams, you went through this last episode on all the teams that need a quarterback. Like you said, the odds of Hooker still being there is low because of all these QB needy teams. It also depends how willing is Brad Holmes willing to go back if. That's another question. We don't know exactly what Brad Holmes, I've never seen him trade back. He's the type of guy that's more aggressive than passive. He'll trade up more so than he'll trade down, I think. So if he likes a guy, he'll take him at 6. That's what scares the shit out of me. And I keep seeing, like you pointed yesterday, Anthony Richardson. I swear to God, I won't be mad if we take Richardson. I'll know what he's doing, but good God, is that scary to think.
Okay.
He keeps going back to him. I keep seeing the list. Anthony Richardson. That better be a smokescreen.
Now, 2 guys on the podcast says, what's wrong with Witherspoon? Nothing. But if you can have Witherspoon or Bijon Robinson, who you taking?
They're going to say Witherspoon.
Okay. If you're taking Witherspoon, then that's fine. But you need to know that he's got a higher learning curve. Your defense is still hot garbage. Your up front still needs prayer in the interior of the defensive tackle position. Your linebackers, don't even get me started. It's not even freaking the linebacking core.
Who is your linebackers, by the way, of choice?
It's laughable. And once you get to your cornerbacks, and when everybody's favorite cornerback, Okudah, who everybody now wants to check out on now they give up on him. At the Okudah, you already done gave up on the money. Who? You can still get your cornerback in the draft at 18.
And a lot of my mocks, I tend to double down when it comes to getting cornerbacks. I'm down for getting 2 this year if I could, but I don't think they're going to do that. But if anything, I mean, Luke's right. I mean, this is a deep CB class, and we could wait until the second round, depending. I mean, a lot of times when I've been doing my mock drafts, I've been focusing still on my D-line. Just because it's such a lower learning curve. And considering I'm seeing a lot of guys that look like they have high value, even in the second, like that kid from Florida. I'm trying to remember, Miami. Tyreek Smith, I believe his name is. I think I've seen a little bit of his film. He's not too bad. Forbes, Garrett Wilson. I can rock either of these guys, It doesn't have to be Porter. It doesn't have to be Witherspoon. Like I said, you can find talent deeper in the draft. Luke is right about that. For God's sakes, I mean, even though if we just get one cornerback, for all we know, we're probably going to need another cornerback next season.
I'm asking the question for 2 reasons. We have somehow allowed the media to put cornerback on every mock draft, and we have somehow took that to mean this is the move you want to make. This is it. Yeah. Now, if you watch the combine, everybody knows that the fastest running back came out of Texas A&M. Devin, I think it's Enshin or something like that.
Yeah, I think I've seen his name. And
okay, so he came out of. He's the fastest one out of it. Followed by Gibbs with the 4.36. Followed by East Carolina Kenton Mitchell with a 4.37.
I have drafted him a couple times. I think we're taking him just because we brought in Montgomery, who's now our running backs coach. That's his boy who he trained up.
Yeah. I don't think Montgomery get to have any say so as a new person in the building.
I know,
he's there to follow orders and do a job. But I'm just trying to tell you, the reason I'm doing this is because there is at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs faster than Bijon Robinson. Yet I can't find a single board that don't have Bijon Robinson as the number 1 running back. Why are we doing this?
I mean, by all means, speed doesn't mean anything. You can be fast, but if you can't punch through the hole correctly, or if you are like, what's his name from Alabama? The Browns took him a long time ago, and the guy couldn't find a hole to save his life. He ended up playing in the AAF for a while. What the hell?
There's a lot of running backs like that. It's a lot of running backs like that.
He was drafted in the first round by the Browns. I know chat, someone help me out. I know someone knows what I'm talking about. The guy couldn't find anything. He was like the number 1 running back taken from Alabama. He was god awful. But it's like, if you can't see the hole, I don't want Trent Richardson. Thank you very much. It's like my biggest issue with Tank Bigsby. That guy, he's a great runner, but the guy does not trust his O-line. He always
but you know the difference, though? You know the difference between, like, and I love that you brought that up, because this is another point I wanted to make about this. How many of the Texans offensive linemen are first-round picks this year?
How many what now? Sorry.
How many Texans offensive linemen are first-round or second-round picks this year?
I didn't see any.
That running back was taking little stuff and making it his own.
That's true.
In the case of these other guys, like the Trent Richardsons and those people who have busts coming from Alabama, they played behind stout offensive lines in college and got to the pros and didn't have it. And all of a sudden, things got real for them.
I mean, that's a great point. I love that you brought that up because, again, our O-line, would you think Justin Jackson or Craig Reynolds would look as good on other teams without our O-line? Our O-line helps them out immensely. Having this O-line, this is why I'm not against the idea of Bijon at 6. I wouldn't do it, but if he's there and Brad decides to take him there, I'm like, I know what he's doing. It's not a bad idea. And like I said, I mean, I pray to God Cansey's at 18 or maybe Porter, but like I said, I get it. You'll get use out of him.
Perry Ball says that, Luke, how do you feel about the running back that's only 5'5"? Who
the heck is that?
But if you ask me, do I care if a running back is 5? I don't care about height or measurements. Can you play?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care if you could be 3'2". If you running through everything, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
He'll just slip right through. 5'5". Good God.
Bijon has patience and vision and take it to the house.
Exactly.
Don't forget the most important one. A seam can go the distance. Seam can go the distance. That's all I'm saying.
I think the best example of a running back on this team that had no vision, he was a great runner when he got through the line, was, you remember Washington? I don't know if you remember that name. He was one of our backup. Hey, Rumble. He was one of our backup running backs. He was a great runner, but he couldn't see the hole.
Well, listen, we're going to get into it. I'm having fun with it. I told you I was going to do this. I was going to give it a little bit of time. I didn't think it was going to take this long because I didn't think people was going to be so against it. I knew I was going to piss people off a little bit, but
Rumble got that levy beard.
Lions Rumble 81. What's going on, brother?
What's up, fellas, man? What's up, Luke?
The more and more you come in here, man, the more and more I'm starting to get the Kratos look. You know, the God of War himself with his beard, brother. I'm enjoying every bit of it.
I appreciate that, man.
Clearly, I pissed off a few people, right?
Of course.
Again, it's gonna be more of a short show today, just because my kids get older, they gotta have fun with the family, right? So I'm just gonna get right into it. You are sitting up there, and there's no Jalen Carter.
Mm-hmm.
There's no Will Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
3 of your top quarterbacks are gone. Who are you taking? 6th overall. You cannot trade the pick.
I've been high on cornerbacks this year, only because we brought in JEMlive, only because we have Aaron Glenn, only because the city of Detroit is known as, no fly zone. There's no reason why we don't focus more on defense this year. I think Joey Porter Jr. is by far, like, he's got the shortest curve, and as far as and we have the coaches who can provide an even shorter curve, with them both being respectable cornerbacks in the league. So I honestly think we go cornerback, maybe if not once, twice. I think we're probably going to see if Jeff Okudah can finally take that leap that we've been waiting on him to take. And if not, I don't think he's going to be a Lion. I really believe that. I really believe our coaching staff is so dialed in right now that they know they cannot. 9 wins this year, we're going to start grumbling. We're going to start, we're really going to start pounding the pavement. So, we can't be 32nd in defense this year. We can't be 22nd in defense. We have to stop something, whether it be the pass, whether it be the run. Something's got to give. We can't have milkman quarterbacks carving us up every year. It's time to stop that mess. It really is,
man.
Okay, let me just put it out there. Okay, because I think, shout out to Marcus Willis. I love this right here. This is another proof to why you do what I'm talking. Let me just put this up here big.
That's a fair point there.
He brings to the point of Adrian Peterson, who came into the league with an offensive line. All right, let's look at it. First season only started 9 games, played 14, but started 9. 1,300 rushing yards and 12 touchdowns. Longest run, 73 yards. All right. Second year, 1,760. Led the league in rushing, 10 touchdowns. And I'm not even going to talk about the receiving, because Bijon can actually catch and still do some of this stuff too. But that's another story. And these little bitty asterisk stars that you see right there indicated he was selected to a Pro Bowl, for those who don't know. And if it's a plus, he was first team All-Pro. So in his second season with a line, he made first team All-Pro. In his third season, 18 touchdowns, led the league. In his fourth season, first of all, if you just did this damn rookie season, good grief, Marcus was on to something here. Why are we even having this debate? You don't want the quarterback? Fine. But this guy in his rookie season had almost 6,000 yards and 52 touchdowns with a line. We ain't had a real running back that was healthy since Barry and that had this ability since like Javid Best and Kevin Jones.
Oh God, Javid Best depresses the heck out of me, to be honest.
Who were the wide receivers those first 4 years?
Who was his quarterback?
Down. All right. Now you don't have me. We can go find out. Let me see. I see you in the back, brother. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get you in here. Let's go see.
Oh, is Anthony here?
No.
I was thinking it was Anthony.
All right. Let's see. Let's go up here. Let's go to 2007. Let's see who his receivers were, because we were so excited for the guy who couldn't help us this year. But what can I say? What the hell can I say? Who are our receivers? Chester Taylor. That's all right. Troy Williamson. That sounds like another guy that they took that was supposed to be speedy. Audrey Ellison. Let's see. Bobby Wade. Robert Ferguson. Sidney Rice. That was a high draft pick for them. Yeah. Vashante Shanko. Yep. Yeah, man, look at this shit. Come on, bro. You talking about it? You already looking at it, right? You already looking at it. You thinking to yourself, man, our receivers was better than that.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next year. Let's see. Next year. Let's see who the receivers were. I want to be fair. Who are the receivers? Chester Taylor again. Yep. let me do it like this. Let me do it like this. Let me take that off. All right, let me see this. Let me close this off right here. All right. 5% Sidney Rice, Bobby Wade. Look, Bernard Brandon. Yeah. Remember him? All right, let's go to the next year. They literally was like, man, they brought the people that they thought was going to be studs at receiver and said, forget it, we're gonna run this thing.
We're just gonna hand it to AP.
Let's see. I'm gonna hit one more. Let me hit one more, and then I'm gonna get up and get this thing. Listen, I can't make this shit up, y'all. Percy Harvins, Sidney Rice. Both of those were Pro Bowls that year, along with Adrian Peterson. And you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, a guy that y'all believe is going to be the second coming of Jesus, and Jamison Williams, right? And they, come on, bro. Come on. They had old man Brat. I'm just asking you to put some Marcus. Where's Marcus Willis at? Where the hell is Marcus Willis at? When somebody make a strong point, you need to put respect on their damn name. Let me just get to this really quick. And then once I do this, I'm going to bring my mans in it. Matter of fact, I'm going to bring him in now. D-Map Zoom, what it do, brother?
My brothers, what's going on?
Listen,
been a while.
Marcus, brother Marcus, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me just read the brilliance of this that adds to my vision. Look at how great was Adrian Peterson was in his first 4 years with the Vikings. Great offensive line. And then I show it, and you look at who they had at receiver, and you like, yo, we want to run first. You can, enough said. D-Map, I'm giving you the scenario. You tell me. We're not going to be on too much longer with this. I don't know why this is a debate or an argument against this, but it is. You tell me. You got Will Anderson off the board. Carter's off the board. Okay. Who are your top 3 quarterbacks?
My top 3 probably be Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, and honestly, the third one I have no idea.
Okay,
I'll say I have no idea for the third one, but those 2 are probably the main ones.
Okay, so you only like 2 of those quarterbacks, but you know there's gonna probably be 3 of them gone early on anyway. So let's just say 2 of those quarterbacks are gone, right? And now you sit up there with a chance to make a pick. You know the Colts ain't taking no damn running back. They got Jonathan Taylor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you taking at that pick at 6? You're stuck there. You can't trade it.
I'm stuck there. I can't trade them. So how we are is either we go for a quarterback or we decide to go for a D lineman. I would say, I think, ain't Tyree Wilson still there by any chance? I'll probably take him, honestly.
Yeah, Tyree Wilson to me is he's Trayvon Walker in my opinion. Like I think, like I don't see nothing on tape. They'd be like, yeah, jump off the page, baby. I don't see that.
Oh, you'll say he didn't dig it to the average.
Yeah, he didn't pass my eye test. But let me just put a little bit more respect on it. You take Wilson, right? Mm-hmm. And are you starting him?
Sure, we can start. Yeah.
Okay, you have to though, right? All right. So, what are you doing with Houston? James Houston. Oh man, dang. Oh wait, he's similar to Houston. Oh, you still got James Houston. You got Aiden Hutchinson. You're gonna have to, if you're drafting a pass rusher, that means you telling Romeo Okwara bye.
Oh yeah, we damn sure getting rid of him.
Okay, all right. So you telling him bye Romeo. All right, now what?
Don't need him.
So you starting Tyree Wilson?
I'll say yeah. If he proves he's better than your boy Houston, like yeah, you start.
And you taking that over the running back?
Oh, of course.
Okay, all right. I just wanted your opinion. I'm not killing nobody today.
Yeah, I just tried Bijan Robinson in a mock draft. Oh boy, PFF hates that shit.
Is that bad?
I just posted it in the freaking Discord. I had to work.
PFF can hate it all they want. I don't. PFF is not my measure.
It's just funny.
I'll say you can't have too many edge rushers. Honestly, you never know. Injuries do happen, so it's like, hey, next man up. That's why I was like, no, I have to go with that. Yeah, but boost the D line because we need that. Get pressure on the quarterback.
And Steve-O says James Houston is a designated pass rusher. Yeah, I know. I still would start him. I would start James Houston.
Right.
I feel like James Houston needs as many snaps as possible. He gonna have to play a whole lot more snaps before I start saying he's just a designated pass rusher. They deemed him that until they couldn't do it no more. And by the time they did it, he was already wreaking havoc and had 8 goddamn sacks. It was already bad. So I'm just saying, give him a little bit more time, like in terms of like snaps, and then I can probably buy into it. That's all I'm saying.
It's a pretty deep edge room already with Aiden, James, Romeo, Pascal. If you bring back Kaminsky, if you still have Harris, I mean, right there and then, that's like about 5 different edge rushers you can use.
I'm just putting it out there. However you see fit, I just want you to understand that when you go through and you look at the draft, you have to ask yourself a few questions. Is what you really want going to be there at 6? I just want to go out on a limb. Option number 1 for you, Crimson, would it be to trade back?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay, Rumble. Option number 1 for you would be to trade back.
No, cornerback.
You want to stay at 6 no matter what and take the corner.
Yep.
Okay. So you got all right. D-Map. Well, option number 1 for you be the trade back.
Oh man, I got trade back.
Okay. So option 2 for you. Option 2 for you, Rumble would be what? Trade back?
Cornerback.
Cornerback. All right. All right. I ain't mad at it. D-Map Zoom. Yep. Option 2 for you would be what?
Quarterback.
I'll say, you said a corner. I'll say, shoot, a quarterback at that point.
A quarterback. All right. Option 2 for you, Crimson Shadow, would be
D tackle.
Okay.
Again, I'm going Cansey. I'm Cansey. I'm riding that horse down.
Man, I can't shoot still there. I should have made that my choice. So it's too late.
Dude, I'm going Cansey. I'm riding that.
So for me,
I forgot about him.
For me, the options are simple. Option 1 is to trade back. But if I can't trade back and I'm stuck at 6, and y'all are already said that we don't need a quarterback because we can't take a quarterback there, I'm taking Bijon Robinson.
I mean, I'm not against taking a quarterback.
And shout out to brand new Detroit who says, "Preach, Luke takes are comical." Appreciate it. Listen, I've learned in 2023, you have to accept everything. You see what I'm saying? You have to accept everything because the moment you don't accept it, it don't matter. I literally got a show with an open forum for any person to join in and talk their piece. Free and clear. I got it for you can do it in the chat, but you can come on and tell me why you think it's comical. But you won't. Instead, what you'll do is you'll just post something in there and hide behind a fake name so you don't have to address it. But then if it's comical, tell me, you don't get Jalen Carter, you don't get Will Anderson. If your top 3 quarterbacks are gone, who are you taking at 6? I don't want the position, I want the player. Who are you taking at 6? Brand new Detroit. Who are you taking at 6? I'll wait for that comment. And we'll see who what the real comical part is. Because the reality is this. If you're stuck there at that point and you're at the 6th pick, you take impact players. You don't take hogwash BS potential. Oh, I think he might be special. Oh, I think in about 4 years. I ain't got time for that. With the 6th overall pick, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to play. Oh, well, you know what? He might be the next. I ain't got time for that.
God, this reminds me of last year's freaking draft. Last year, we didn't think Hutch was coming to us, and I was Team Karlaftis if Hutch wasn't there. So
every freaking pick that we've taken high in the draft has come in and had impact. Now we gonna get to year 3, and we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to. We want all these projects.
No, year 3 is the same thing, man. We need defense. Man. We need secondary help. It's still the same thing 3 years later.
But Rumble, you understand my dilemma. I screamed secondary last year.
Yes.
I screamed defense the year before that.
Yeah.
Now I come and join them, and they were. And I'm still wrong. God damn, I
Don't worry, Luke. They'll change their name anyways if you're right.
I'm just saying.
No,
Fearless said Swift won't be happy if we draft Bijon. I don't care about his feelings.
Shoot.
And I like Swift.
Shoot, be him out of camp.
There's nobody who has rooted for Swift to get the ball more than me. But if I can get a guy who's already healthy, who can do everything Swift can do, I'm taking the guy.
I just want to take a player that I can actually use, that I think is going to be good and is great for the future.
Yeah, and one that don't be out for basically over half of the season. Exactly. Jameson Williams got that speed, he nice and all, but it's like, man, we could have got anybody else instead of him.
Like I said,
I ain't mad. It is what it is.
When we talk about
so let me see. Mike says I like Bijon, but not at 6. I like other prospects more.
That's fair enough.
Mike, give me the
True.
top 3 players you like better, names that you like better. I'm intrigued to hear that. Zach J says Bijon at 18 if you plan to take him, and if he's gone by then, oh well.
I mean, if he's there at 18.
So who are you taking at 6 then, Zach? That's what I'm saying. Listen, we're talking about you're stuck. You're stuck. I'll bring it back up. I know that people think this is a game, but you're talking about you're stuck at 6. And you're telling me you're going to take somebody because he'll be there at 18 if he's not, oh well, he won't be. Because I don't think he get past the Eagles.
I'm telling you, Luke, they're all going to say Gonzalez or they're going to say Witherspoon. That's
okay, fine. But at that point, they're only saying that because that's what's been put out there from the get-go.
I know. I'm just giving you the answer what they're going to do.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what. Mark my words. Let's say Bijon get past the Eagles. Hypothetically. Let's say he get past the Eagles. I guarantee you're going to be upset if Green Bay take him.
Oh, man.
I could see Green Bay possibly taking him.
Even though Green Bay got A.J. Dillon, even though they still got Aaron Jones, they still got a young quarterback that they would try to protect with the run. And they could do something different, but I'm not saying that they would take him. But if they did, you would be upset. The same way you would be upset if T.J. Hockenson had went to him.
I'd go, oh, hell yeah, that would have been bad. I don't know. It's really going to depend on what the heck happens on Green Bay's offseason if Rodgers is still there or not. They could be in a possibility to move up if Rodgers is there and they don't think Jordan Love is the guy. There's a lot of ifs with them.
The only 2 teams that I can see taking Bijon are the Eagles and New England. But the Eagles, I don't think he get past the Eagles. I don't think he's there at 18.
New England's a wild.
But I do want to know. I do want to know who are these people that we're taking? Who are these? Who are these people we taking? Shout out to my man Raw Podcast over AKA TA. Bijon Robinson may not be at 18. I don't think he could be there neither. If we need defense, then only D tackle help us the most. A strong D line makes an average back 7 better. Yep, and you can still hit that at 18. Players I would take at 6. Stroud, he off the board. Anderson off the board. Young off the board. Carter off the board. Richardson.
I'm shocked you said Anderson.
Wow. Yeah, I'm saying me. I should take Kancey, to be honest.
Now Richardson, I think it's gonna get taken high. But you like Richardson more than Bijon? Mike, we got to talk.
Oh, man. Mike been on that.
Yeah, that one made me had to take a double.
I don't know. But I want to hear what he's saying, though. But you talking about Gonzalez, Witherspoon, Chancey, Porter, and Wilson. Oh, okay.
Tyree
Wilson.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, you gave me who you would take. I appreciate it. Defense people, when your last name all year damn near fixed the defense. Oh my God, unless there's nothing, and I mean nothing there that's better than what we have. Tyree Wilson is still on the board, and Tyree Wilson will be on the board well after the Lions pick. I promise that. I
don't know. He looks like a Brad Holmes guy.
Now you talking like he can't flop at 1 or 6. Players pick high, flop early. Okay, you want an audience? I just gave it to you. There's your 15 minutes of fame.
Oh boy,
you ain't. See, I can't have conversations with people who ain't ready to have a real conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, can people flop and stuff and be? Yeah, sure, they absolutely could.
Sure,
but this is talking about history. What does the history say? What flops more in the top 10? Cornerbacks or running backs? I'll wait.
I will say on his part, I do like Myles Murphy as well. Like,
I'm just saying, let's go back. Scratch all that. I'm not trying to cut you off or nothing, but I want you to understand. In the words of Kanye West, I'm gonna give you your time, but Beyonce had one of the greatest albums of all time. You feel me? So this is what I'm saying. Because we got to be able to look at perspective. What has flopped more in the top 10? Running backs or cornerbacks?
Cornerbacks.
By far.
Yep.
It's just cornerbacks are much harder.
And again, I'm pretty sure I asked that person to tell me who you taking.
Like you say,
and they couldn't tell me nobody.
I think this year's cornerbacks are going to hit us differently. We brought in Dre Bly. We have Aaron Glenn. I think those two guys can shorten, like I said earlier, any curve for these, especially for like Joey Porter Jr., who's already got a NFL pedigree. I just think the curve will be so much shorter for him, and I think we're going to be more aggressive. Our corners are going to be much more aggressive this year because we know we have to create turnovers. You can't just create a turnover with a D line. You're going to have some interceptions. You're going to have to have a no-fly zone here in Detroit. It's just that's something that's got to be implemented with our defense. Otherwise, we're just going to be, we're just going to have, no-name quarterbacks shredding us like they did in Carolina last year.
Man.
Like that was abysmal.
That was terrible.
That was terrible. But yeah, Rumble. I just posted a draft. I took 2 cornerbacks even with Bijon. I mean, you saying the cornerbacks I took won't be good enough or better than what we already have?
No. You that's kind of where we need to focus these picks on because we like to you guys' point last year we focused on offense. We brought in an O-line. We brought in Penei Sewell the year before. We focused so much on our offense that we had to wait till guys got healthy on defense, this, that, and the third. But now we also know we could be very well. We could be very well done with Okudah. We could be very well done with Levi. Might not be here.
Levi was never.
But
right.
You know what, Rumble? This was my whole gripe with Brad Holmes all last year when everybody was screaming fire Dan Campbell. I'm thinking you have the #1 scoring offense. Why are you firing the head coach?
Right.
The defense is the problem. It's been that way for 5 years, and your general manager did nothing to address it. And I got yelled at about that. So now I'm just trying to get people to explain to me this. And Zach J, again, the scenario is simple. If you're telling me that everybody's favorite option is Jalen Carter, right? I feel safe in saying that everybody wants Jalen Carter. If that's the truth, and I do believe it is, that everybody wants Jalen Carter, and you telling me the draft goes Will Anderson or Jalen Carter, quarterback, and Will Anderson falls to us, nobody's going to be upset with that. Okay. But we're talking about if your 3 quarterbacks are off the board, because if you tell me 4 quarterbacks are going back to back, then you telling me the Lions got a trade partner, which again most of us want anyway, a trade partner. We're still happy. I'm not talking about those scenarios. I'm not saying you don't even have those options. I'm not saying that that's not a possibility. I'm not doing that. I'm giving you the most improbable situation. You're stuck at 6. Who are you taking? Your favorite 3 quarterbacks off the board. Will Anderson off the board. And Jalen Carter's off the board. Who are you taking? That's my scenario. That's all I'm asking.
Again, this is it's like last season. You were asking who we were going to pick at number 2. That was a situation, but they got Aiden Fell to us.
Yeah, well, we're glad freaking what was it, Jacksonville?
And you know, took Walker. You know what's funny too, D-Map, and I'm just saying fellas with this, but you know what's funny about this? Everybody, I ask this question every stream, and I'm gonna ask it again. Do you trust in Brad Holmes? Do you wholeheartedly trust in Brad Holmes? Like whatever he do, you trust him. If your answer is yes, and I guarantee this is going to happen. If that man takes Bijon Robinson, every Lions fan is going to be hyping it up and giving A++ grades. Why we here now fighting about it is beyond me. But I guarantee you, if he took Bijon Robinson, it wouldn't be a Lions fan willing to come on here and go, stupid pick. I hate this pick. We should have did this, and that. It's not going to happen.
I mean,
again, go ahead. Sorry, Crimson.
It wasn't too big, but I mean, real talk, it's just going to matter on what the consensus is. I mean, God knows what it would have happened if Hutch wasn't there. We don't know if we were going to trade back or if we were taking Trayvon Walker. We have no idea. The consensus was Hutch was going to be gone. We might as well trade back in 2. We have no idea. And Hutch paid off. So the problem is a lot of the Lions fans, he hasn't really done enough to really warrant our trust. You know, there's a lot of things he's done that's been good.
We need him, though.
He's earned the trust of the Lions fans. I will give him that. He's done good in that regard. But he has made mistakes. Like, let's be fair and honest here. I'm not going to act like, I'm not going to kiss the ground he walks on. I mean, there was a lot of mistakes like with the Levi pick. I mean, Iffy moving to safety, I think, was a big mistake. I mean, Shark was a little pricey, but not the worst. According to him, he could have gotten more money elsewhere. But other than that, he hasn't done anything that's like too egregious like Bob Quinn or Matt Millen.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
okay. You're gonna have me do a Bob Quinn, Brad Holmes video. I'm trying not to, but
God.
No, I mean he hasn't. He hasn't given us a Tavai pick. Like, where the hell is this?
Lord.
Who is this
I
guy?
still remember when they made that pick. I'm like, who the hell is this?
Listen, again, my point of this video was to give you food for thought, okay, and give you a different way of looking at it. I gave you 2 possible options. I can give you more than that. Like, one option is we trade down. That's one option. One option is we trade up. Another option is we stay put, don't do no trade, and we take what we get. Another option is we draft a quarterback at 6. Another option is you take Bijon Robinson at 6. I got a few other options I'm saving for another point. The reality I'm trying to do is I'm giving you the most hard one. And that's the reason I'm doing it that way, because I want to have it to where people can get to it. And that's my whole point. So,
Luke Holmes, appreciate that.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just putting it out there.
You are twisting that knife. I'll say that.
And again, everybody wants trade down or Jalen Carter. That's all we want.
I mean, you should also be asking how low are they willing to go?
See, but that's coming up soon. You got to just stay with it, because when I start to ask that question, not everybody gonna start tripping. Everybody's gonna go to the same obvious stuff that's been talked about by the media. We can go down with the Panthers.
Oh, I go even lower than that, dude.
I go 12-13, honestly.
I'm just saying. If you ask most fans how far they willing to go, I guarantee you every single person will tell you, I'll trade down. I will go down to the Panthers. I'll go down, but I wouldn't go no far. I wouldn't. This they'll say I wouldn't go no farther than Houston Texans at 12.
I'll go lower.
And this is my point. This is my point. Many of the people who are going to say that are going to say it because that's what's been pushed to the media. I'm saying F what the media is doing. I'm telling you that I know for a fact that there's some teams who want quarterbacks. And this is one of the reasons why I originally had the video saying I wanted the quarterback. And I had a video going off on people who all of a sudden didn't want Jalen Carter because he likes the speed race. So freaking what? Oh, 2 people died. I understand. It's tragic. It's sad. It's not something that I'm happy about. But unless you're telling me his car did something to cause the crash, all he did was participate in a race that they participated in.
Unless the guy murdered someone, actually got out the car and then murdered the guy, then
and all of a sudden he became undraftable because people didn't want to do that. So I'm just giving you these hard situations. That's it. I don't want to beat a dead horse with this. I don't went on too long with this because I want to give people a chance to respond to me. I lay all my chips on the table for why, if you're stuck there, you don't want the quarterback, Bijon Robinson makes the most sense. And I'm saying that as a guy who thinks our defense needs prayer. But when I look at free agency, right? I'm serious. As a guy that I really do believe it needs prayer. But when I look at free agency, you can really get those guys in free agency. And then you can still come back with these 2. Because if we only had 1 first-round pick, I would be like, hell no. You got 2. It's the same reason why certain teams like the Coast can do things, why the Eagles will do certain things. When you got 2 first-round picks and they high, one of them is high, you do what you want. You can rub your nipples on it for all you care.
Oh,
It's no
God.
picks. But what you cannot do is act as if though, because the draft simulator told you this guy would be there, that it's going to fall that way. It does not. They have a thing every year where if you can get all the picks in the first round right, they will give you like all this money. It has not been done yet. One dude came close and lost by one pick.
I mean, to be fair, no draft simulator was going to draft what happened to the quarterbacks last year. There was no way. Nobody predicted how low they were all going to go. Like, whoever thought Kenny Pickett was going to be the only one to go in the first round? And when was the next quarterback taken?
The
What,
hell?
third round?
Listen. That draft class didn't have no quarterbacks. This one do. And then that draft class, a lot of the teams didn't need a quarterback. This one does. Now, you got a few teams who's already off the market in terms of the quarterback thing, right? And so you're going to have certain people who don't need a quarterback no more. But this idea that, because you got to ask yourself in all honesty, like, who are your top 5 quarterbacks? And if you're telling me that there are 5 picks between your pick and between the first round and 49, you take your quarterback earlier than later, period. Because if you tell me you only got 5 quarterbacks you believe in, okay, great. Who are they? If you tell me you only got 3 quarterbacks you believe in, okay, great. Who are they? But I guarantee you those 3 picks will be gone long before 49. So this idea of taking a quarterback in the second round would mean that you're going to your second tier of quarterback, and then you're probably getting another Detroit Lion BS pick from the second round. So play the game if you want to, but you need to understand what is really happening here. And I've put it up there many times. That's all I'm saying. I got to get out of here. I got a guest coming on tomorrow. I cannot wait to do this. We're going to be talking about obviously more free agency, obviously more draft. I had to do the Bijon Robinson thing because I sat there and I went back and I watched the other video, and everybody and their mother was like, no, oh my God, we take Anthony Richardson, a guy who literally had 1 year of start in real reality and was inconsistent as hell in that 1 year and did not jump off the page unless you just like to see a guy run. And at the end of the day, that shit only goes so far. And I don't believe that because, he can run. And no. What happens when his legs is broke, right? Because as you saw, there are sometimes when the quarterback can have a foot or ankle or knee injury, they still got to perform. I remember games where Byron Leftwich was carried down the field by his lineman and still delivered. So I don't want to hear about, he can run. Hold my beer on that. All I'm saying to you is this. When you're looking at a quarterback, you're looking at him to be a freaking coach almost on the damn field. You're looking at him to be something different and spectacular that can still throw the ball, not run. If we wanted the quarterback to run, we would have just called them a running back. Oh, wait, that does exist. A halfback. Oh, wait, that does exist. And at that point, I'm not asking that for him. And the top quarterbacks who can run, the Josh Allens who can run, or in the Patrick Mahomes who can run, Aaron Rodgers who can run, they throw the ball first. And before somebody go, but what about Jalen Hurts? He's not. You're going to find a Philly fan to put him in the top 3 to 5. I'm sorry. Just putting it out there. Give the people your final thoughts, D-Mac.
Oh, no, man. I know it's your draft going to be very interesting because them first 5 picks, you don't know what team's going to be doing, what team going to trade up or anything. So who knows who we're going to be able to get. But honestly, we're going to wait out the free agency. So we're going to see what Brad Holmes going to be cooking. I know it's a fun show. Appreciate you.
Detroit.
Yep. Give me your final thoughts, Crimson.
God, Dr. Detroit's scaring the heck out of me right now.
He's being funny. He said he's trolling.
Oh, man.
Because it's ridiculous. Everybody named Mother, all of a sudden, Anthony Richards is an option because everybody on TV is talking about it. Get the hell out of here. Go and look at his best game. Look at his best game of the season. And watch how you're going to look up and see how pass after pass, you can be like, damn, that's a great pass. And then pass after pass, you're like, what the fuck? What is that?
But he's got Josh Allen accuracy numbers.
Yeah,
we can train him. We can make him better. We can make him a week. Yeah. Yeah. And it scares me because the realization of he just might come here at 6. Because again, I hate that the scouts keep looking at him. It's like, stop looking at him. I don't know if this is supposed to be a smoke screen anymore.
Everything is a smoke screen, and everything should be on the table for the Lions. And I hate to say it that way, but it's all a smoke screen, and it's all on the table for them. I personally think that Will Levis is the perfect type of candidate for the kind of quarterback that Brad Holmes like. But in my opinion, the number one quarterback in this draft, and he's not getting talked about because he got an ACL injury, and many of the teams up front ain't gonna pick him because guess what? They need somebody to start now. You know who don't need nobody to start now? Our Detroit Lions. You know who else don't need nobody to start now? The Seattle Seahawks. Those teams who don't need nobody to start now will take a chance on these other quarterbacks high because they know that they're not going to make it to those later rounds where they picking at. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, like I said, I mean, if you think Hooker's the guy, but I wasn't all that crazy about him even then. So, again, if Stroud's there and we end up with Stroud, I'm going to be like, okay. Again, I'm not that crazy about this QB class. It's better than last year's. I mean, it's really hard to compete with Liberty, but
it is what it is. Rumble, get the people your final thoughts.
Oh man, for year 3, defense, secondary. Please, there's got to be a reason why we brought in Dre Bly. There's got to be a reason why.
So they probably want him to play again. I'm just saying.
He probably still could, man. Slot, but yeah, I think we definitely need to focus on that defensive side of the ball this year. And we have 5 picks in the first, 100. Focus 4 of those, if not 3 of them, on defense, instant starters, like you've been saying for the past 3 years as well. Get these guys in here and get them started right away. Get them some snaps immediately. We got lucky with some of the guys we drafted late last year who are chomping at the bits this year because they did get some key reps. They were in some games that actually mattered and got us to 9 wins. So I think this year we definitely need to focus on defense. We cannot be last in that, not only that division as far as defensive side of the ball, but the league. We're not going to win more than 9 games if we don't focus on that side of the ball, especially secondary. There's no way we can't get 1 or 2 solid studs at corner. And then, lastly, thank you guys, as always, Luke. I'll look forward to seeing, who you bring in tomorrow for your special guest. And Crimson, as always, man, thank you guys. Chat, you guys are awesome. Thanks for rocking with me.
Man, 100%. Down 19. Final thought? Hell no on Bijon Robinson. I still love you too. Dr. Detroit says, I'm not against Bijon. I just think he's an option at 18. I don't think he get past the Eagles. I just don't think it happens.
If he's at 18, Luke's going to be jumping out of his seat. Take him.
And it's the reality. I'm with the Chaos Controller who says I'm just tired of depending on rookies and it don't pan out, aka Jeff Okudah. Well, I mean, I saw it coming. I said if you play him at safety, he's gonna be phenomenal. But look, leave him at corner, he's gonna get exposed.
There was so much pressure on the kid because we traded away Darius Slay. You can't replace somebody like Darius Slay immediately. That kid was supposed to be groomed under Slay.
Not third overall, he wasn't.
Why not?
Because
why wouldn't he be
because third? Listen, if I'm taking you third overall, that means I'm taking you. You out of all the players I could take, I took you third.
Yeah, but that's because they traded.
You don't get no grooming. You ain't no. You come in. You gotta play.
They traded Slay.
You gotta play. Rumble. You gotta play.
I know, but they traded Slay. They traded a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback and brought this guy in and thought he was gonna. No, he clearly was not ready for that.
If I take you third overall, you gotta play. If you're not a quarterback, aka QB, you gotta play. Third overall, no. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Would you bring in, I don't know, offensive tackle third overall to be groomed under a veteran offensive tackle?
That never happens though.
I know it never happened because you know why? You gotta play.
But they drafted their best cornerback and then brought this guy in thinking he was gonna replace who they drafted or who they traded away.
Because what they did was they panicked and tried to replace him and say that he was a shutdown corner. And I told everybody he's not. And I had all these people who came in and told me that I ain't no scout. I know better than. And I said, I'm telling you right now, he's not worth a top 10 pick, and you're gonna regret it. No, he's not. He's a safety. No, he's not. And now what do you see? Everybody's talking about he can survive with a position change. Just putting it out there. It is what it is. It says, Okudah was never touted as a shutdown corner. Bull. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Crap. And to get back on that rumble.
Yes, he was.
If Slay wasn't pissed off and he didn't demand to get traded, he never would have been. Okudah never would have been a Lion. It would have been Derek Brown. I will die on that hill.
The whole time Okudah was coming out in the draft was he a shutdown corner. And I'm like, what games are y'all watching? I even showed people, I said, look, the Michigan receivers, People Jones and all, they was killing him. And for some reason, the referees would not call any pass interference or anything. And everybody, I'm like, dude, they were killing him.
Yeah, he is shut down. He's shut down for his first 2 seasons of the NFL.
And that's I'm with Marcus. Marcus had the greatest example of all time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Marcus, great point, man. I thought for sure we were going to.
I said that, Luke. He was talking. It went over my head. I'm sorry. Let me get my final thoughts in, people. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming in and rocking with me. I can't believe I did 2 hours debating about this one particular pick. Did not think that this would happen, but it did. And sometimes the show gets determined by you people, and I love that. This Pride Nation is not going to have to agree on everything, but we have an opportunity to, have the conversation. I leave it open for everybody to come in and talk. They talk, and that's it. I don't mind it, but just be prepared to support your answers, and that's all I'm asking. Today's positive quote comes from the internet. I have no clue who said this. I saw it, and I just thought this was absolute fire. It says, "Don't fear failure. Fear being in the exact same place next year as you are today." Whew. Oh, damn. All right, people. It's funny to me because one of the things that I've always tried to do is be somewhere different tomorrow than I was today. And too often I see people that I had to leave behind because they got comfortable in their ability to just be in their lives. And I'm thinking to myself, you want to just be in your life, but you want all the benefits of my hard work. And I realized something. Real lions don't eat if they don't do the work. You got to put in the work. And if the only thing you're afraid of is failing, well, guess what? Wait till you see the check for regret. Because I can assure you this, that as you grow up, as you start to get older and you start to see things in life, you start to realize that failure is the least of your worries. Being stuck and complacent in the same place that you was in last year, the year before, 5 years before that, 10 years before that, simply shows a sign that you're unwilling to go past your fear. That is not where you are at your greatest. That is not your power. That is where you are at your weakest. You need to be able to find a way to push yourself and go beyond it. Don't be writing checks of regret when you can write checks of success. Is there ever a point to where you get to the mountaintop, Luke? No. The sky ain't a ceiling. And as long as you cap yourself off, you're always going to do the bare minimum. You see, just being okay. Just being okay with okay is not good enough. Being okay with beating greatness should be your ultimate goal. Don't fear failure. Fear being in the exact same place next year as you are today. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell because I will be live with a guest tomorrow. I know you guys are going to like this. This is going to be so much fun. I can't wait to make the thumbnail. I'm going to do it tonight. Put it out there so y'all have an idea of it. Get some questions ready to ask us and have some fun with it. And we're going to get this thing popping. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, don't be no chump. Please do your research. We are out.